So I just got my mind blown. You guys got to hang on to this. Hang on to your hat. I'm going to give you some examples, but I'm also going to tell you where my mind went after I was listening to this, and it went pretty deep. So basically, it's the philosophy of the Big Bang, the one consciousness, God, meaning of life, why are we here, what are we a part of, what's the big deal? Here we go. Watch it.
Of itself. Because the universe itself is a philomath. Philomath simply means a lover of learning. The universe expands through our eyes. It expands through our unique perspectives. In the last podcast we did, you asked me at the very end, another tough question, what's the most valuable thing in the universe? And I said, you are. Because each of us has a unique perspective to add to the universe. So it allows the universe to observe itself through our unique eyes of confirmation bias, our unique eyes of perspective, our unique eyes of experiential learning. There will never be another Andre. There will never be another Robert Grant. It will never, ever exist again and never has existed in the past.
So yeah, that blew my mind, but then this happened.
Hey, if I'm the one, would I be content just being the one? What am I going to do, right? It's like, then you come to this realization, and you're like, well, maybe I would tear myself in two just for the purpose of meeting you, to experience myself in this new way, to experience you as a concept, this archetype of a young man who is hardworking and wants to help of what's happening within me. The type of people that I'm associating with and meeting now and what's happening in my life now it's irrevocable.
So here is this freaking amazing download I got during this. Like every time I watch it, I get a new one. You have to listen to this. I'm not saying I don't care about my algorithms. I don't care about, but if you're listening to this, you need to hear this. And it's a special transformative moment for you. So think about it. So let's say source, God, whatever you want to call it. You know, he's bored with himself, herself, itself. And it's like, well, what am I going to do? I'm going to split myself into two so I can experience you. That was a, but then I'm just going to keep like, so then they become, they can migrate themselves. So these two, which would be the Adam and Eve, right? They have babies. And then they have babies, they have babies, they have babies. And then, you know, next thing you know, we got 8 billion people on the planet. So this God source universe, it has no control over what we're doing. Absolutely zero zilch control. You just go off, just like our children do, just go off and live your life and do whatever you're going to do. Well, in the meantime, and I know you're going to ask, why are people born into or with massive trauma? I'm going to talk about that now. So then we got billions of people on the planet, and groups of them, they start creating a hierarchy through greed, control, fear. And then a whole bunch of players or pawns or people like us, we buy into it. We become consumers. We become fearful. We make choices based on fear. We live in countries where there's war, and we make choices there as well. So guess what's happening? When you ask, how can a God let this happen? Or he's not, or she's not, or it's not. We are doing it. And because this one source is experiencing it, we are making that one source suffer. And now, what the only thing that the one source can think of, I'm sure, is, guys, there's 8 billion of you out there. 500,000 are ruining what I gave you, which is paradise. Do something about it. Because the one source can't. Now, there are miracles. I've seen miracles. I've heard of miracles. I've experienced miracles. I've read about miracles and watched about miracles. And of course, we're not the only inhabited planet in this universe, right? But also, if you want to manifest, you have to tap in to these fragmented, dimensional pieces of the one source. You have to tune into the other ones like you that also want to manifest, mindfully or physically. I'll give you an example. I follow a TikToker. I'll put it in the comments when I find her. But she talks about FML. You look it up if you want. I'm not going to say it because it's just the most things that makes me the most angry in the world. One of the things that makes me the most angry. Anyways, she posted a video of a young, I don't know where she's from, Ethiopia or someplace like this, woman who was married off when she was very young and then kind of went crazy because they gave her kids away, and they basically tied her up like a dog And so she posted this and it went viral. And guess what it did? It made a doctor who lived out in that area as well drive there, take her in, medicate her in a positive way because she was she was insane through her treatment, her trauma, and saved her, untied her and saved her because this one person posted it on TikTok. See how it can be done? So there was the trauma and there was the fix. We can fix the trauma that seems uncontrollable. Now imagine that you're born without limbs. Terrible. Most of us would go like, that's horrible. Why would God let somebody be born with one limb? Or no limbs. Okay? But they're surrounded by love and family and support. And all of us somewhere, we start creating and designing and inventing and creating products that can help people like this. This is love. This is the essence of support, tribal love. And that person may experience something that I would never experience because I wasn't born that way. It's just one idea, one thought. Anyways, what do you guys think about this? Like, seriously, like, do a stitch on this or something, like, find that section. And if you were just one, and this blew my mind, wouldn't you split yourself in two so I could experience you? I would. Namaste.